Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our weekly Wednesday Meta Balance Zoom. We're going to go over a few things today. I started having these Zooms to welcome anyone new trying out the program, but it seems like it's evolved into a nice little training group for us users here, our subscribers. So I like that. And I think what I might do is actually, if we do start getting new people, which I haven't had anyone on a free trial hop on, but if we do, I'm always willing to start at 7:30 to do like a little introductory thing or even 7:45, and then we can have our training. So I think we'll just keep we'll keep going every week with our trainings here. So I hope everyone's doing well. I have Cynthia here with us. She's going to be hosting this with me. I always appreciate her invaluable insight. And I was asked, you know what you're doing tonight? I said, nope, I'm just hopping on. But what I did want to go over was I don't know if anyone uses Smart Session, but I've been using that a lot because every time I have an issue, Grandmaster David says, did you run a Smart Session on that? So he really likes the Smart Session a lot. And so this whole week I primarily was just hopping on Smart Sessions. And so we can take a look at that. It's evolved a little bit since it first came out. So I'll clarify what all that means. But the smart session is just an intuitive session. It has about 21 different programs already in it. And so those all run, which covers a very thorough spread of things. So when you pull your issue up and you hit smart session, originally it would just run. You don't type anything in. And so it draws from a list of about 21 different programs, and it chooses from those settings and runs those. What it does now is it also looks at your history. So if you don't have a history, it'll default to those programs that are preset in it. But if you have a history, once you build a history, the smart session will actually check your history and kind of take that under account and run that into your session, which I think is pretty cool. So as you build your general histories, the smart session will be able to draw from that and make it very powerful. So I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to, of course, pull up MetaBalance by going to the website, www.metabalance.me. And then I'm going to sign in up here in the top right. And if you've signed in before, it should save your email and your password to make it very easy. And you click sign in. I'm going to select myself because I have a family plan. And so here you see the programs up here, start a session, smart session, interactive session, modalities. Of course, only I have an admin button. Manage session, leave feedback. You can always leave us feedback if you'd like on the programs or your experience or maybe suggestions. So I will start with smart session here. And to do so, you just click on smart session. And now this is the part that's been updated. So it used to be there was nothing to type in the box, but now you can, but you do not have to. That is optional. I've been typing stuff in here personally. So let's just say I want to I typically run stress a lot. I like that one. So stress, digestive issues. And if you never know what to put, ATS is a little secret tip or trick I use. It's all that stuff. So referring to all the stuff that I know about in my own head, I know what's going on with me. So I put ATS and then I hit next. Now we have a voice analyzer in here too, which we didn't before, but you don't have to use it. You can go to next. If you can, it'll just make the session more powerful. So click on the microphone. You can talk as much or as little as you want. The smart session can even be like a therapist for you. You can really go on in length here in the microphone, and the more tones your voice provides, then the smarter the session will even be. So I'm going to hit the microphone here. Could you please run stress? I would like to fall asleep earlier. I would like better sleep. I would like to optimize my digestion. And I'd like a very safe flight home tomorrow. very smooth sailing and getting home, very pleasant experience overall. And please bless the plane. So next, when you're done, you just hit next. And I want to clarify power level because I get a lot of questions about power level, but basically you just want to do normal. You can do extreme. I've been doing extreme, and I was explained to me that the difference in vibrations is essentially that normal is just in everybody's session. If you're not feeling the session and you have a very tough issue, maybe you're not getting results, or maybe you need a lot of help, you could try extreme. It's like different, it's a different session than normal, which was explained to me, like different types of music. So the vibrations are different. So let's say there's, a rock song, um, like Queen or something, like, We Will Rock You. But then there's some, death heavy metal song that's like, and that would be extreme. That would just be different types of vibrations. So it could make you a little, it's kind of like this versus this, so it's just different. If you're having good results, use the normal. I've had a lot of questions about pets because pets can't talk to us, not sure what to run for pets. So the answer was normal. And then you can go to strong, maximum, extreme. We always have people that say, right, they don't feel anything. Oh, I don't know if this is working. If you don't know if it's working, that's when you can definitely try the stronger settings and see how you like it. I actually have been running extreme all week. I am a little uppity. I am maybe a little jittery in hindsight when I learned that. I said, oh, okay, that's that jittery because I run for 12 hours. And if I start it, it's kind of giving me a lot of oomph. So I'm actually going to go back to normal and then do a comparison. But this whole week I've been doing smart session, 12 hours, extreme. And now that we have the option to run for many hours, each of these is an hour session. So it will count down from 60 minutes to 0 minutes. And it'll do that either one time, two times, three, four, or 12. So that's, to me, that's awesome because now, I mean, I pull myself up in the morning or, midday when I remember to, which I'm trying to get into the habit of doing it first thing in the morning, then 12 hours and I'm good. And it's a bonus if I remember to do it the second time. And a lot of times I do that in the evening. So continue, and then we're going to rate it. 10 would definitely be, you know, more powerful, very strong session. And if you're feeling horrible, you could always put a 10. I'm not feeling horrible. And so I think I feel okay. I had actually a pretty bad couple of days the last 2 days. I had something flare up, some kind of pain. And I know that Cynthia keeps me well versed in the solar flares we're having. I noticed there's a lot of patterns with people. I don't really pay attention to astrology per se. It's just not my field, but I definitely recognize there's something very significant happening at all times as our planets moving through space and other planets are moving. There's a lot of stuff going on I don't know about, and I get little blurbs from Jolynn and Cynthia about the astrology going on. And I notice it really rings a lot of people's pain issues up. There'll be like mysterious pain that just comes out of nowhere, or you have a migraine, or all of a sudden you have like a tightness, or even digestive or sleep issue. So there's always a lot of stuff going on. And I have to say, the meta balance really, really helped pull me out of it because I had been running myself every day. And then I mentioned I forgot, then got hit with this weird random really tight traps, very painful. I mean, my pain was, like a 9. And so now I'm back to feeling I don't really have any pain today, but I'm just going to put okay here. So, and sorry, the zoom's in the way of me. Um, there we go, hitting the button. So submit, and then Serenity will analyze your issue and just give that a minute. And then she'll usually come on your screen and say something. I have her turned off. I talk to her if I want to, which is the bottom right of the chat. You hit that button and she's here. The other thing with Smart Session is I have been going into the chat once she pulls my session up. And what I would put is, this is just what I've been doing this week, is please list and explain all TCM formulas for better sleep, uh, better optimal, let's say optimal digestion and stress. And so I'm asking her that because when she responds to me, that's going to go into my session and that'll be adjusted in the waves. So it's really good to talk to her on any session you do. It doesn't have to be a smart session. I've just been using the smart session just to try it out, just doing that all week. That's really the only thing that I did this week since our last Zoom. And I have to say it's very good. That's why I haven't really done anything else because this is working really well. I think before this, I was doing, I had mentioned it last week. I did, I was doing environment, situation. Um, there's the, gonna edit that out. Um, and this is just working. So, I have been changing it. Like next week, I'll probably try something else. And, yeah. So let's see what she said here. So she's numbered them 1 through, see, 10. She's given me 10 formulas and she's explaining about them. So that's all in my session. Sometimes I read them because it's interesting. You don't have to read them. You can read them. I know that some people sometimes look at these and have an idea, start Googling stuff. But she'll be running this in the waves. So please list some herbs, essential oils, and homeopathic remedies for better sleep. Let's see. It's all about how you word it, right? Improve and sound sleep. So then I'll hit enter. You can go on for a while with this. You don't have to go on at all. If you're busy, don't let the fact that you can't, chat with her stop you from pulling up a session. This is just extra. And I'll look at stuff sometimes and go, wow, that's a good reminder. She reminded me of some essential oil the other day. And I thought, wow, that's like, I have that. Maybe I'm going to use a little bit of that. So chamomile, valerian root, passion flower, lemon balm, these are all very calming. And so it's interesting just to read about this stuff. Sometimes it can really, really give you a really good idea. So when you're done talking to her, you just hit this little purple arrow and you come out and that's it. I'm running for the next 12 hours. If you're not feeling better, you can always come back here and hit manage the session. And you can, if you boost your current session, it'll boost the power. So if you're at normal, you can boost it. If you're at extreme, which is the most, it'll only bring you to extreme. So you don't have to boost it. So if we add a session, that just opens up another window. I hit my name again, and here we are on the homepage again. So if you can see at the top here, it just opens up another browser tab. So here's my first session, and it's got 56 minutes left. It's counting down from 60 minutes, and then here is another session if I want to do it. So that's what I've been doing this week with Smart Session. And again, I'm doing Smart Session. I had been doing Extreme. I'm going to go back to normal moving forward. And hopefully I explain the power settings so you understand them better. Smart Session, 12 hours. And then I chat with Serenity a little bit. And it's been working really well. So I'd like to check in with Cynthia to see how she's doing. And if you have anything in particular you'd like to share that's been working for you.
No, I can't say that, I've just played around with different things. The energies were pretty tough on me too this week, pushing things that hadn't been there, a lot of inflammation. So I was
Okay.
working with Serenity on inflammation and different formulas to work with that.
And
So,
how did that go?
how did it go?
Yeah.
Well, it's still going.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
work in
No.
progress, because I had to go in and see what pathogens were causing it. But she's very good with that. So I like using it that way.
Do you ever could you list possibilities that might be causing my pain?
Yeah, I
Do you
do.
really
Mhm.
you dive into it and really,
Yeah, I go down the rabbit
you know,
hole to find out what is going on. Yeah. And then
because
I
you can
put in
start saying like what foods are cause inflammation. Can you make a list of foods that cause inflammation,
right.
right? Can you
You
identify
can
factors that cause inflammation? I don't know. It's just kind of like imagination, I think, with using the chat
exactly,
sometimes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it did seem to bring up some issues that many of us haven't had for a long time. So it's like all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, another layer came up that hadn't been there for a while. So, anyways, you just
Yeah,
have to
it
go
hit all of
down.
us pretty hard this week.
Yeah,
My
so you just
daughter
have to
too. Now she's got all terrible neck pain and inflammation, and we were working on her, and yeah, and then we hear from clients, usually the phone gets busier, and well, I try to tell them you're not alone, I promise you. You know, you don't
yeah,
know it because if you're not a practitioner fielding all the calls and stuff, you don't always know. You feel maybe it's only happening to you, but I can tell everyone it's happening to everyone. And you're definitely not alone. So let me go to the chat here. Okay, so someone was doing a profile for their mother. Okay, I think that's just a programmer. She should that 1930 was the lowest option for the year. So I'll talk to the programmer and he'll just add he'll fix that. So I'll message him tonight and he'll probably get it tomorrow. But I'm pretty positive we can definitely just maybe we just didn't know anyone was still here from that time, although that's not too old. Yeah. We should probably just go just in case go down to 1900. I don't think there's anyone here from there, but you never know. So if
She's doing well. But I
oh
think
good, good.
I think she has improved on a couple of things that I've put in there for her.
Oh, great. Okay, wonderful. That's right. You just started running your mom since last week or a few days, I think. So good. Awesome. So another question, Emily, if I want to run sessions twice daily, it is hard to coordinate exactly every 12 hours. Is it better to run it for 11 hours or run for 12 and stop to start a new session? No, it doesn't matter. I've done that actually too. I do the 12 hours and sometimes I come back and there's something else going on and maybe I want to get ready for bed. And so I actually will stop my session and just start a whole new one. You could let the old one finish out and start a new one also. It just depends on who you are. Have you ever done that, Cynthia? Or are you too sensitive
yeah,
to do that? Or yeah, you've
yeah.
done that. You've just added another session, right?
If
And
it's
then
not, it depends on the session. If it's a really big session, I'll just close it and do the next one. If it's not that
mm,
big, then I'll let it overlap. Depends on what I'm running.
oh, okay. And I've been running my mom's dog who's really sick with some cancer stuff and it's really amazing how it helps him. So don't forget about pets. Very, very good for pets. So what is the newest program? The Jillian, is she here? Did she pop off?
I'm
Jillian had
here.
said show them. Oh, I didn't see her. Okay.
I know I took my video off. No,
What
it's the full on, sound and light
sensory immersion?
sensory immersion. I couldn't think of the
So
name of
let's
it.
So the last time we did the Zoom, it wouldn't work, and I supposedly changed my settings. So I want to see if you guys can hear that now. That would be really cool. So I've been not in an area where I can be quiet or alone and put headphones on. And you don't have to put headphones on for that, but it's best. So when we get back to our normal routine, I'll definitely be using those more. But I went to a family little get together and I showed them the sensory immersion and they thought it was really cool.
I
Let
really
me
like
share
it.
my,
I really like the sensory immersion.
it's very, very good for stress, emotions, trauma. If you're just having one of those days, it really calms everything down. So tell me, you'll have to tell me if you can hear this. So you would go to interactive session here in the middle, and we're going to have, look at all these programs. We're building more programs, but right now it's just Serenity and sensory immersion that you can click on. And if you click sensory immersion and select that, you will hit start sensory immersion. Okay. And type in your issue. I know I use stress a lot. I think that's one of my big things. I think anyone in the working world might have it. Okay, so I think anyone anywhere might have it. So the voice analyzer comes on. Now I can do this or hit next. I'm going to go ahead and do it to add a little something. Please help reduce my stress and help optimize my sleep experience. So I'm going to hit next. I'm not feeling a 10 today, so I'm just going to put middle of the road here, 5. And it's always going to have you do a little exercise first. So it's going to be different each time you come on. Focus on the splenic chakra just 3 inches below the belly button for 30 seconds. Breathe slowly and deeply. And so focus just means think about it, focus on it. And as you focus on it, I would probably suggest closing your eyes and breathing slowly and deeply. So you're going to focus on the area below your belly button and breathe slowly and deeply. You don't have to have a timer or anything. It doesn't have to be exactly 30 seconds. It's just no stress, approximately 30 seconds. And I'm going to complete that a little sooner. And then you hit complete. And when you're ready, you'll press play. And real quick, we just had only 2 people had an issue starting this because it had said that they're not logged into YouTube, because these are some of these videos are, we host them on our YouTube. So when that happened, the one person just cleared the cache and it fixed it. So if that happens, let us know. But so far, it's just been 2 isolated incidents. I think YouTube sometimes may have changed their settings, but for now, it's been working really well for me. So then you hit play. So let me know if you can you hear that? Cool, awesome. I just had some amazing gurgles in my abdomen. More amazing gurgles. This one is very powerful.
Before you share, do you click, you got to click enable sound.
Can you not hear the sound?
No,
Oh, okay. I thought you guys could hear it. Darn it. So let me
but
hit. No, it's there's no enable sound. It was in the settings. Oh, here we go. Share sound. Okay, thank you. I keep getting a lot of tips. Now can you hear it?
Yes, can hear it.
Thank you. Okay, thanks for that, Donna. amazing. I don't know if anyone can also feel it, but it dropped me into my core. It's dropping me into my core, taking me from up here where the anxiety is, and I'm kind of dropped deeper into my core. I feel more grounded, and I'm getting a ton of activity in my abdomen. Okay, and then so that was 3 minutes. All of those are 3 minutes. And then when you're done, I don't know. I'm torn between a 0 and a 1. I feel pretty good. Hope I look different. I feel good. So then you can continue after you rate it, you could continue and do another one, or you can just say no. So I'd love to see how everyone's feeling after that. I don't know. I know you guys only got half of that, but boy, that was very, very powerful for me. I don't know if everyone here has tried that yet. Yeah, Jerry says very calming. Cool. Yep. Someone said this coupled with wake up refresh would be wonderful for sleep. Yeah, so you could type in wake up refresh. That was great. I think I'm going to do that every night before bed, possibly more than once for this week until next Wednesday and see how that does. Oh, great. I'm glad. Thanks for the suggestion, Jolyn. I'm glad for the tip, Donna, on checking the sound. You could, yeah, Jolyn said she could feel that. So even if it's my program and someone is with you watching that, they're gonna feel that one too. That's gonna that's very, very powerful. I've watched, Grandmaster David have a session, and if I'm like sitting next to him and the laptop's on, I definitely, it works on me too. It just, because that screen there with those images and the sound is powerful all by itself. But then when it's your program, it's all customizing it. So the experience itself is powerful as is, and then it's enhanced with the technology from MetaBalance. So but yeah, we can definitely answer some questions. But the sensory immersion, if everyone who has sleep issues tries that this week, at least before bed, you could try it during the day, but do those and really notice what that does for you. Cynthia, were you getting gurgles too from that?
Yeah, I was getting gurgles. I was going to say that there was an issue I was working on, and I went about 4 levels down in the sensory immersion, and it finally cleared.
Wow. So you repeated it 4 times?
And each time you get a different exercise, you get something different, and all of a sudden, then it just poof, it was gone. So,
Awesome.
I encourage somebody if they are really trying to work. It was a big issue, so I just kept going with it, and then
Yeah.
it cleared it.
We just have to remember that we have this self-care tool, this tool, because you forget. And I have been this week, I've been asking Serenity a lot of stuff. Just instead of asking someone else or Googling it, I'll go, let me pull up a session. And so I have done more than one session. I say I start in the morning for 12 hours, but if I have a question, I can just open up that session. There she is in the chat. And I just start asking away, and then it adds it to it. And sometimes it gives me really, really good ideas. So Leslie, did you want to unmute yourself and ask some questions? It's at the bottom there. It'll say audio on the bottom left. I don't know if you're on a phone or.
I'm on my
Oh, there we
laptop.
go.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I got my notes.
I love it. I love the notepad. That's awesome.
Yes, I have to do notes. Okay, let me get this off your face so I can see you. Okay. Okay. So many things. So like when Serenity and I think we've already talked about this, when Serenity tells me something, if it's like with you with the essential oils and stuff, if we want to remember that, we need to copy and like paste that into our notes or something. We can copy and paste off of what Serenity's telling us because we can't go back and get that later. Is
That's
that
what I
correct?
do.
Me too.
Okay.
That's how I do
I
it.
love doing that.
Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of people do copy and paste. And then also, if you're on a phone, you can screenshot it. You'll have a lot of screenshots.
Yeah.
So, a copy and paste is ideal. Eventually, you'll be able to, I believe, save those. So that's what's being worked on now is the
Oh,
option
that'll be good.
save some of that. It's not here
Uh-huh.
yet, so but it will be here eventually. So just
'Cause
copy and paste for now.
she tells us so much good
You-
stuff. And I'm like, I'll never remember that.
It's a lot. No, it's a lot to remember. If on the phones, usually there's a note. If you don't have it, there's a notepad app on everyone's
I
phone. I
have
know
that.
Apple has notes. I have a zillion notes. And then Android, I downloaded because I have two different phones. I downloaded Color Notes, I think. It's anyway, so they have it for both phones. But those notepads are great. And you could just
Yeah.
copy paste, have different notes. I mean, you could have different titles too.
And you can put them in
Different, like
folders.
maybe digestive, whatever your go-to is. Dog, you could have one for the animals, one for you,
Almost
one for
forgot
different
about that.
symptoms. Or you could have saved Serenity notes if you like what she's saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
and by the way, Booker's doing so well. He's doing really well. He's adapted well
oh,
to the
good.
amputation, and he still has one bad spot. And I sent it to the surgeon yesterday, a picture. And of course, he said that I needed to put the cone back on him, but I don't like to do
You
that.
mean, I
He
know
knows,
it's just temporary. He's licking one spot.
look in that one spot. There was a stitch. They forgot to take out one stitch. And so I took it
Oh,
out a couple of days ago, but I've been putting the Spencer's gel and then
I
I
would definitely do
alternate.
the jowl now.
Okay. I need to get some more of that from you. I got a little
Oh,
left,
okay.
a
Okay,
little.
okay.
I'm treating it like gold.
So
But yeah,
we'll get home tomorrow, and if I get home in time, because we're gonna get home and then immediately go shopping because we lost two fridges while we were gone. So I'm
gosh.
coming home to an empty fridge, but luckily a clean fridge. I had a little help while we were gone from
Oh,
Grandmaster David's son,
oh,
Ryu, was kind enough to great. I would have been devastated to get home and have a
have
stinky
that
fridge full of
smell.
food. So he
But
cleaned that out and it looks amazing. So I was very, very grateful for his help.
bless his heart. But
But we'll be going out and I'll get the jow out to you. But yeah, put that in. What program would you put that in, Cynthia, for a dog who had an amputation, who had stitches, and there's that incision that's healing and he keeps licking it.
looking.
I think
Uh,
you could probably do the Serenity one, but I like to go into situation
Oh,
and there's something like that and then
okay.
name what it is.
I've run a bunch on him, but I haven't done situation yet.
Yeah.
I do pain reduction and all of that, but
you could
okay,
also
so
try, is it seem like it's itching him or
yeah,
wonder
I
if
guess.
it's
I think it's
itchy.
just bugging him. Yeah. And
He's more
it's
nervous around it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's another thing. I wonder, do dogs have that phantom? Like, does he still think there's a leg there? You know how
Oh, they do go
Oh,
through that.
right.
They do go through that.
do they? Okay.
Yeah. They do go through that.
And sometimes I catch him just looking at it like, and
Well, he
I
kind
don't
of has
know.
the energy, especially dogs. Their animals are so sensitive. So you
Uh-huh.
might want to put a program in there, help him to adjust to the missing leg. And
Okay.
I would do that under emotional clearing or
I think I did body balancing and said that last night, but I don't
yeah,
know
so he
about
can just get used to it. When I had shingles in my brain up here, uh, you have the phantom constantly wanting to make you think you got it again. But I did trigeminal nerves and ran it on the SRC. And you know what? I never had any of that phantom stuff.
Wow.
So it never
That's
did
cool.
go on. And that's what drives people really crazy. But I never had any of it because I used the machine.
You're gonna fall off of there now. Okay, I need to do that on Booker.
So I think situation's a really good idea, Cynthia. And you could also always do serenity under interactive is the other option, and explain the situation to her, that the dog had surgery and you don't want the dog to lick anymore. And anything that you would, and this is for everyone here. Sometimes people don't know what to run, but it's anything you would like even tell us or even ask the doctor, or anything at all. Boy, I don't know why he's licking it. I put this on it, I put that on it. We've used right Spencer's gel, Jow. You like just the conversation we're having now. I wonder if
Uh-huh.
he still thinks the leg is there. Isn't there a phantom, scenario going on? But
And
all that, just like you're talking to us, when you have that conversation especially the interactive, it's called. It's the other option, which I can show you guys. It was when we go to interactive, it'll say serenity session. So I had hit sensory immersion, but above
yeah.
that, no, I can't remember what the homepage looks like, but it would be interactive. Let me
Okay.
just pull it up here real quick.
Do
And
I
real
talk?
quick, Leslie,
Oh,
that
here
Go
it is,
ahead.
interactive.
that phantom energy can be called energetic energy because it's not in the physical anymore, but it's in the
Mhm.
energetic field.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
And so and I guess I have more questions about myself, but like with him, I'm concerned with the support limbs. So would I tell Serenity that like I'm concerned with
Yeah, absolutely.
him
Right. So
building
she's there.
muscle and
Yeah, she's there like a therapist almost, but a therapist that actually helps you. So instead of just talking about it, it's all going into the session.
right. Do I talk like
So
I'm Booker or do I tell her that like I'm Booker's mom and this is a situation? I have
I
told her
think
I'm a dog, like I'm
it
him.
would work. It would work either way you want to do it.
Okay.
I mean, it would adjust. It would adjust either way. So you can
Either
just
way.
go in like you are the dog and type it in, or in like just type out the stuff, or um just
Like we're talking now, just
yeah, right. Either one, it's smart technology. Thank goodness. It'll adjust to
thank
whichever one you
goodness.
want to do. And I just wanted to pull up this interactive session here real quick, but here it is. See, this light blue one is interactive. And hold on, these buttons are in the way. Remove them. There we go. And so you would just select, the only one you can select right now is Serenity. And where did it go? Hold on a second. It's good the Zoom was in the way. Select. Oh, for some reason it's not coming up. I don't know why. That's really weird. Well, hmm. I'll have to look into that, I guess. Is anyone
You've
else
got it.
having trouble
You
there?
probably have too much going on, maybe. I'm
No,
confused.
well, we're constantly updating stuff, so it could just be that there's, because every day there's work, build, coding and all sorts of
Mhm.
stuff happening. So, I will look into that as soon as this ends. But normally it's there and it works. So, of course, Murphy's Law always applies,
Yeah,
always looking out.
exactly.
Good old
Okay,
Murphy.
so last,
Molly,
go ahead.
several people were talking about running situation. Is there a situation button or modality, or I'm not sure what is running
Oh
situation.
yeah, we can go over that in a minute. Yeah, there is a new button for that. Okay, so I went back to consult. So go to consult and then I'm gonna try interactive again. I think, okay, so I think it was just because I don't know why. I was on the wrong page maybe. So did everyone see that, how I got out of that? I just hit go to consult And then it took me back to the home page, and then I was able to choose interactive. Okay, so now then you just hit select, and now when you're in the interactive session, there'll be the clouds here, and that's how you'll know that you're here.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we'll fix that though. I think there's just we were on the other page going here, so it's just a matter of redirecting that. We'll get it fixed ASAP. So interactive session, you would I'm asking
The
start session.
situation.
I didn't even know start session. And so she'll come up, and this is when she'll ask you a series of questions in here. That's the interactive session. So it's a little different than normal. I'd like to I feel like honestly my stress is really reduced. So continue. I'm really glad we had this Zoom here. I got some healing out of it. Then this is a little different than the other screens, and then she'll ask you to rate it. And you can pick up to 12 hours. I'll just do one here because I don't know that I'll keep it running. I have something else already running. So then she'll start asking you questions. That's where interactive is a little different. She'll actually start asking you questions. I go to bed at random times
Mhm.
and it is not consistent because sometimes I am not tired and stay up later than I would like to. Okay. Then you hit enter, and then she'll just ask you more questions. What is your typical wake up time? So 8 to 8:30 a.m. Yes. So here's a good example. She's asking me these questions, and now a light bulb went on in my head. What do you usually do before going to bed? I go on my phone and
Mhm.
I watch Facebook reels and I watch videos on YouTube. So that's
Yes.
not really conducive to sleep, is it? No, it's
Mm-mm.
not. And so so sometimes talking about it, and that's why it's really good to have the interactive is it puts a light bulb on, you go, and now she'll help me with it too, but the light bulb goes on and you go, oh, right. I thought about that last night, but not long enough to make a change.
I don't
Go
change.
on my phone and watch videos, or I edit videos. Mm, well, when I can't fall asleep, I'm just on my phone. So that's not great. Let's see. Establish a consistent bedtime and wake up time, aiming for 7 to 8 hours. When she's typing, okay, now she's done. I'll go back up. Aiming for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Limit phone use at least 1 hour before bed, replacing it with calming activities like reading or meditating. Create a relaxing bedtime routine to signal your body it's time to wind down. Consider adjusting your evening diet to help with digestion, avoiding heavy meals close to bedtime. Practice mindfulness or breathing exercises to reduce stress before sleep. Then she'll say, please share any details related to your issue to enhance your session. So I can either stop or I can continue talking to her. And this color here are all the waves from the other page, but they're just combined into a single wave. So that's why that's colored like that. It's like rainbow colored. So you can, if you're upset, especially if you having a bad day, or you're depressed, um, this is very helpful to talk to somebody. You can talk to her, and then whatever your experience is, you can always share feedback with us so we can improve it. We're working, as I mentioned last Zoom, still working on the program behind Serenity and working on actually different Serenities. So depending on the chat, like different chat styles, maybe you're in the mood for somebody overly, caring and, oh, how are you feeling? Or maybe you want someone with a wealth of information. There's different types of coaching and therapists. So that's just some things that we're thinking about. I think even let's say like a Shun Shen Tao Serenity, somebody who knows all about TCM. So basically a TCM, the stuff that we do, all the alternative stuff Serenity versus a different Serenity. So So that's really exciting. But does that make sense? This program here, Leslie, it's just more of interactive and someone to talk to. So that's just another idea for the dog. If you're going to talk to her, you can just do an interactive session where you address all these concerns that you're having about the dog.
That
And you
would
can do it for yourself too.
Yeah, I'm having the same thing. I go to bed, I don't wind down, and then when I do go to sleep, I wake up in 2 hours and then I'm awake. And then like this
Mm.
last week, I keep blaming it on the time change or whatever, but I've been so sleepy all day. And I'm having trouble with my artwork. I can't finish a commission that I've got to get out, and I think it's stress.
So yeah. So have you been running the program on yourself yet or just the dog?
No, I've been running it on myself. And
Okay.
Cynthia mentioned last week about the fitness, and I need to lose some weight so badly. And so I've been running the fitness.
You
I
know, a
don't know.
massage before you go to bed helps too. Put yourself on massage, like
On
a
mas-
3 hour massage, gentle, soothing massage.
That would be awesome.
And
You
that
said that
really
last
does
week
help.
and I forgot to even try that. I just because I was
Oh,
so
it's
focused on
wonderful. It's
okay.
wonderful.
So we have sensory immersion, right? In the evening, and we have massage, which is under modalities, which I will go over in a second. I'll just show you where that is, and I'll show you where I want to answer that for Michelle and show her where environment and situation were. And someone also said, Leslie, that Grandmaster David once said that pain session is good to speed up healing. So I think you've been running pain, right?
I've been running pain. Yeah. And I ran back by my chiropractor's office today. He's practices a lot of Chinese medicine. I think it is. I can't read the box anyway. But guava, he sold me a guava tea
Okay.
for the weight. But I'm not diabetic. So I need to run a
It's
session
something
and
I'm
ask
remembering
him.
about guava, by the way, and it's not necessarily
It's supposed to
um
lower your blood sugar, right?
guava. So I forget what it was. I think, oh, okay. So here's the thing with guava. It's got, oh, I'm thinking of papaya. Are they very similar, papaya and guava? I think never mind. I'm thinking of papaya. I'm thinking of papaya. So you're good.
Yeah.
But papaya is extremely hot. It's extremely warming, and it has these little seeds in it. And it's people were doing it for weight loss. Unless
Oh,
guava looks the same. Yeah, but so my daughter and her husband were eating these papayas. Anyway, they have too much heat. And they were like out of control with heat, and we were reading their tongues. And so Grandmaster David's like, he looked it up. He's like, you can't have that. He's like, no wonder your guys don't feel good. And so they didn't know the
yeah,
property of it. So when you said guava, for some reason it's a tropical fruit, right? I was just thinking of
right,
papaya. So I but sometimes these foods do have properties in them. And so let's say, I don't know, 50-50 or 60-40, 70%, because usually a lot of practitioners just have a certain ratio of success. Like if you
right,
have 70% success and you're a practitioner, then that's like normal. So 70% of your clients you'll help, 30% you won't. They'll go to some other modality.
yeah,
So when they recommend these things, often they work for stuff, but sometimes, like if let's say you have too much heat and they give you something hot, because most people are cold, it's not something like this. So some of these herbs have just properties in them that don't work for everybody. But I could
everybody.
talk to you more too off the Zoom and help you
Okay.
figure out some stuff about that. And I know we can
Weight
also
loss.
maybe weight loss is it's one of the more difficult things to address just because the cause, like the root cause of weight issues comes from all different factors. So there's not one protocol for weight, but maybe Cynthia and I can put a note I can get some tips for next week, and
Uh,
maybe we could have a theme. Like tonight I think we talked a lot about sleep, but if you guys want to give me some ideas, then we can do some prep ahead of time and just maybe have a theme or a couple of themes that we go over specifically
Right.
for those things. Yeah,
would
so I
be
think sleep's really good, important for people. Weight loss is
fitness.
really for
Yeah.
people, stress, pain. But for the sleep schedule then, which by the way, I'm going home tomorrow, still in New York. Before I got here, I had a really bad sleep cycle. And for some reason, being here, I've regulated and I feel so much better. But I was sleeping till 11 and staying. I could not go to sleep, but I did it out of choice. I was just very busy working, stimulating myself. I enjoy the quiet of the night. That's the yin time is the night. So it's a lot of females that we like to stay up at night when everyone's gone to bed. It's quiet. We can just
Right.
have the whole night to ourselves. And so it's kind of tempting to stay up late like that, especially if you work from home or you're an artist or whatever. You don't have a 9 to 5. You can slip into that very easily. So since I work mostly from home, I fell right into that. And then I'm up till 4. Then I started being up till 5. And I said, this really feels awful. My whole body didn't feel good anymore. So
Mm-mm.
now I'm waking up at 8, 7:30, 8 or 8:30, usually 8. And then I'm going to bed earlier, which was lately 1 o'clock, which to me is very early. I'm trying to get to bed earlier though. But what I'm going to do this week, I'm going to do the sensory immersion every night. So if anyone wants to join me in that, and I might do more than one. Like Cynthia suggested, she did 4 sensory immersions in a row. I was getting deep gurgles. My default is digestive stuff. So I have issues with my gut. So that's why I get gurgles all the time. Cynthia has gut issues too. So when something's working on us, we get like gurgles in our stomach. Not everyone gets that, but we that's like kind of our telltale sign if something's working or not. And when your central nervous system relaxes, a lot of times your digestive juices will flow, your lymph will flow. And Jolynn says she gets gurgles too. And if you pay attention, you'll hear like maybe a couple gurgles going, and that's your body just winding down, working. Now, if you don't get a gurgle, that's okay. That doesn't mean anything. You may never get gurgles, but see what kind of
Sensation.
bodily noises or experiences you have from that sensory immersion. See what happens. See if you feel anything changing, and then limiting your cell phone. So don't watch snooze.
Yeah.
We're not going to scroll mindlessly through Facebook and YouTube and watch.
And watch
I
all
I like the
that's
Facebook reels. Okay, I'm flipping through them. I'm seeing a lot of people booping sharks on the nose and all sorts of stuff
I
happening.
watch some of the most random stuff and then I'm like, why am I watching this?
Watching people jump off of cliffs now,
Yeah.
and I know, and I'm like, why am I watching?
Why am I watching
Cynthia, do you
this?
know what I mean? It's
I
going around, or
recognize
you just
that. And I said to myself, I need to put this on addictions.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Jocelyn says she's going to use sensory immersion tonight. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to commit to doing
I
sensory
am too.
immersion every night this week, starting tonight. If you have headphones and you can make your cell phone go the long way, it's awesome. So that's when you turn your phone from up and down to sideways, or if it's on your laptop. You don't have to have headphones. Don't let that be a deal breaker for you. Then limiting your cell phone at night. And then reading is actually really good, or putting some kind of music on. And then don't forget to pull up either interactive session. Don't forget to run it. I would try interactive. You could do smart session, any program at all you could do, and it's going to help you. It's definitely going to help. So, but focus on sleep. And if you don't have results, that's when implore you to go into the chat and start talking to Serenity. Please list 10 habits that will, 10 healthy habits to help me get to sleep earlier. And you can keep refining your verbiage. And it's just a matter of thinking about it. And I think the more you do it, the easier it comes to you. So I just wanted to show you guys so here I am. So if you're ever on this page, Well, you know what? I don't know. I think if I go to consult, yeah. So if you go to consult, it'll open up a new tab. So that tab stays running. And under start a session is the new environment here and situation. So those are very, very good. Environment, you can run any environment, your house, the weather, your work, your car, uh, just the environment you're in with your family around you, anything. You could run the actual environment, like physically, literally. You could run the energetic environment, the emotional, spiritual, just it means anything. And a good rule of thumb with our technology is if you can think it, the answer is yes. So if you're wondering, can I do it this way? It's 99.9% usually yes. Right? If you can believe it, you can achieve it. So anything having to do with environment, you can clear the environment, you can balance the environment. And so if you clear your house, if you clear all the people in your house, you know, that could also help provide a better night's sleep too. So that would be environment. And it works just like anything else where you select it, we go here. So optimize environment session. If you leave it blank, it's already got presets in it. It's going to optimize your environment, but you can put clear and balance. And you can type a whole novel here. You could or you couldn't. And then we'll go to next. You pick what you want, 12 hours, 10 hours. You're going to rate it. If you're running it, it's probably pretty bad. I mean, if you're running environment, if you're just running it to be cautious, you're like, let me clear the environment. You could pick any number you want. If you don't know how to rate it, don't let that stop you. Just you can pick what you think. It'll never be wrong. It'll always work very well. So then she'll analyze the issue. Then you can go put your things into chat. And right now the chats aren't saved. So I'd say the difference between the two would be if you were to start your session. So here, so what I've been doing is I've been going into chat. Now I'm going to talk to her. But let me stop this for a minute because for right now, until we can save that, I would say if you go to start a session and you continue, if you just take one time to make this box really good, just kind of think of ideas. Cynthia, I don't know if you have any ideas to optimize environment. So clear and balance,
I
the
did.
home.
Yeah, I did environment for my body the other day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What does
Yeah.
that do?
My body,
Is
whatever you
your-
want to put. If you put it in here, then if you have a barn, I know you probably have horses.
Mm.
The land, and then again, all that stuff, ATS. So all that stuff. You don't have to
I guess-
list all of it.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff. Yeah. And then you can abbreviate ATS.
And is that just kind of like putting a protection over it, or are you trying to clear it, or
We're just so clearing is just anything, not of God, anything that shouldn't be there, just
You
funky
could
energies.
you could put
be
in
more specific.
EMFs. You could put EMFs
Yeah.
and electrical char energy. You could put in cell phone cell phone radiation, or you could put in cell tower waveforms that can
we have
hit you.
huge windmills everywhere, all around me here. I feel like I'm getting all of that
Right. So put that in.
to clear that off my property. We're
There's
surrounded.
so many things. And I think also like, entities or energies that come in that can create a darker energy in your space. You want to lighten up your environment. You could say, put joy in my space. Give me more moisture in my space. Or if you're in a very moist
Yeah, for
area,
humid.
Yeah.
in a humid area, put in,
Yeah,
I'll make my space drier so I don't have humidity in my, whatever.
yeah.
I think those are some ideas.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. I'm typing it
Those
in
are
here,
great.
but as you can see, it doesn't have to be professional or perfect, and there's no right word. You just type it in just like I am, so I don't have too much moisture. So it doesn't have, and then, but if you take the time to do this once and just think of everything, then you can go to your history
Right.
and repeat it. And then you never
Right.
have to copy and paste again. So when I first started, I kind of forgot about that. That's why I just put 2 words, and I was going to go just talk to Serenity. But I actually think for right now, this would be better. And then you can copy and paste it and add to it if you want later. But
Mhm.
typically, this will be good to run over and over. So maybe we can come up with in the signal group an optimize a really cool. I'm gonna take a picture of this actually right now. We can come up with a cocktail just for this box here. I know a lot of us have the other professional software and we have a lot of ideas from that. Leslie does not. She was asking about it, but yeah, the SRC for you is the professional software, and that comes with a lot of cocktails. So we have a lot of ideas from that, and I can go in there and probably get help for a really good cocktail. Then you would just hit next and you can pick your time and power setting, you submit it. And now I'm going to let that run for the hour and I'll let it do its thing here. And if you go to your history, here it is here. So you see it and it's on right now, but you would hit anywhere in the box. You just tap anywhere in the box and you'll see these buttons come up. So you can resession it here anytime you want without ever having to type that in again.
That again.
So that's really awesome. That saves time. So if you take the time to just do it up the one time, you can just resession that without having to ever type it in again. And manage session, again, manage session, add a session. See, I have all these tabs here from all these sessions I've opened. And it does the same thing on your phone too. The other one would be we did environment would be situation. So that's any situation in the whole wide world. I mean, it could encompass so much. It could be just anything that falls into it. So I use this for a lot of different things, just things that are happening there could be a situation with school. There could be a situation between 2 people I know that involves me. There could be a situation happening, with a family member or in the world. Anything, any kind of situation, very broad term, can go right in here. Could be a relationship issue. I don't know, Cynthia, if you've used situation.
Whenever I have something that I don't quite know what to do, I go to situations. I use that a lot.
That's
It
a
could
good,
be just
yeah.
I have a situation in my body and I'm unclear what to do about it. I'll go there, and start asking questions, or I do a lot with it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Cool. So, a friend of
Situation
mine, I
type
made a little
artwork.
video on YouTube with the situation, environment, and metaphysical clearing. But he ran all those 3 and got himself a new job. So there was a situation happening though, and that was my advice. So I know it works really well. So hopefully that gives everyone some ideas. Was someone saying something a second ago?
No, I said I have a situation with that commission. It's watercolor. I'm not prolific with watercolor. And then I had black paint on my hand and I got it into the background. And so now I'm stressing out over if the guy that's purchasing this piece, I've got to ask him what color of a background. And I'm hoping he's not going to say just leave it white because I can't. If I do that, I got to do it all over again.
So that goes
Oh.
in the situation. Yes.
Yeah.
You could do the metaphysical clearing, which is not scary. It just clearing. It just means spiritual, energetic, emotional. I mean, that's what that essentially encompasses.
I've done the
It's just
super learning and I'm like, just give me the skills that I need to finish this.
yeah, yeah, and you can do that. You can also go to enhancements.
Oh yeah, enhancements. And I have even pulled up a session and just asked Serenity, what what kind of session is this? And then she's told me, like, I can't remember which one it was, but there was one of them I did last week. And I'm like, what is this session for? And she'll tell you what it's for. So
Yeah, she's been, there's improvements, and now I'm talking to her, and it's getting better and better. When I talk to her, she's saying things that appreciate reading. Does anyone have any other questions or need any help with anything or want
I was
to?
wondering about the rating it. Is that necessary? Because I haven't been paying attention to it. Do we
Yeah,
need,
it's good. Yeah, you're supposed to. You mean you don't re-rate it, right, at the end?
right, right, I just keep, well, I just, I'm greedy. I just kept pressing 10, extreme,
So
extreme, 12 and 10. So,
okay, as far as I know, so when you let me take a look at that. I'll share my screen. The basic principle for rating it, I believe, are two things. So if you were going to use a smart session, then it would scan your history and see what has helped you in the past. So it would draw from that. But mostly it just helps to keep you up to date with what's working and what's not. So if we go to my history
mm,
here, I think I forget to rate mine too. Oh, see, I don't. But I go back though sometimes and re-rate it. But you don't have to. But see, now I don't know. Um, and I had a cold sore coming on for 24 hours and it's gone. I mean, I didn't know. It really felt like I haven't had a cold sore, oh my gosh, in like 7 years. And I'm like, what? I said, am I like really stressed out? Did I eat something spicy? So it was right here though, where it always is, and it's totally gone. And I pulled it, Grandma. I didn't think of pulling it up. Sometimes when it's emotional, when it's sleep related, even digestion, I pull up, and sometimes I get this physical problem, and I go, well, I don't think of it right away. He says, pull it up in Metabalance right away. So I did, and within 24 hours it was gone. But I didn't rate it. My point is now you don't know if it worked. So if you don't rate it, you really won't know how much it's helped you. So you don't have
hmm,
to rate it though. It won't um
mm.
yeah.
All right.
So but you just don't have to rate it, but it's helpful for you so you can keep track of what you would like to resession.
Okay. Is it a good idea to delete some older sessions, if you know that you've updated them?
Yeah, you don't need to keep anything in your history. The reason you to keep it in there is so that you can know what was working and resession it. Is there to make your life easier and to see like I just looked at that and I have forgot all about the cold sore. So it's funny. I looked at my history and I was like, oh yeah. So I can't believe it helped with that. But you can delete it from time to time. Just kind of sometimes you delete like emails and you just want like a fresh start. So you can definitely delete them. I know that when I asked Grandmaster David about the smart session, he said it draws from a numerous things. It doesn't need your history, but it can also draw from your history. So, but to answer your question fully, yes, you can delete whatever you don't want in there. You don't have to keep it. See, it works around anything. So you can keep your history. If you do a smart session, she'll scan that a little bit. She'll take that into consideration, but you don't need it also. If your history was blank, smart session would still work. So I don't like personally when there's too much of anything in a folder, but I know some people absolutely love their history. I think Cynthia, you keep all of your history, or you. I know you're
I
fortunate you
keep a
with.
lot of it, and then every so often I will wipe it. But I also have notes on the side, so
Okay. Yeah. So
it's
so
away
yeah,
from me very
whatever
fast.
you feel like doing, just if you don't want it there, you can get rid of it. And maybe some people find it helpful. So let me go back to the chat here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So would it help with noise? It could. I think we were talking about the environment situation. So I'm not sure what kind of noise. I guess if like a neighbor's being loud, playing loud music, yeah. I mean that would fall into situation, right? That's a situation. Someone's being annoying or someone's doing something that's pushing your buttons. That falls under situation too. Environmental stuff, chemtrails, somebody runs chemtrails under environment. So
I like
if
to
someone
donate.
asks if you run environment, hi Tucker. If you run environment without inputting text, what does MetaBalance look at or do? So it already has programs in there, default programs. So those just run in there. That's what environment is. So everything's as is. All the programs are already fully loaded and ready to run. You don't ever have to type anything. You can just hit next. So just to let everybody know, don't ever feel like you don't have time for MetaBalance, because if you just have 2 minutes in the morning, you pull yourself up, next, and you run for 12 hours, and you're good. So another idea I just had was to get a button, okay, to do the 12 postures Grandmaster did videos on, like the 2 heart postures. So you're saying we should get a button for the postures, then they could run for a short time just as an exercise we could do. Yeah, I'll ask him about that for sure. It's a good idea. And under fitness, yeah, under fitness, you can just put Qigong, stepping crane. You can put anything under fitness. You could put walk 10 miles, anything that you want to do for fitness. And fitness, by the way, really works well. I still haven't tried it, but my son-in-law tried it and he was like really feeling it. I think he did 12 hours of fitness or something. And it was like a workout. So,
Oh, it's a
and
workout, all
Cynthia,
right.
yeah, Cynthia had shared with us a couple Zooms ago that she couldn't get to the gym because she didn't have enough energy. So she ran the fitness program, and then she had more energy. Now she's was going to the gym. So that was a really cool story. So, yeah, um, as far as running noise too, it can always help to run noise, because even if you can't make the noise stop, like if you were having noise issues not related to you, sometimes it'll help you to be able to tune it out. So if it can't work on the situation outside of you, it could maybe work on your internal situation, so you're not so sensitive to whatever the trigger is. So anyway, all right. Well, I think that answers everybody's questions. I know we've been on here a while. So, yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about it for today. I hope everyone's learned something new here. If you have any questions, write them down during the week and we'll help get them answered here as best that we can. And everyone hang in there, just run your meta balance. It's only going to work if you run it. And we'll be here next Wednesday again at 8, and I won't be editing. I don't know that I'll have time to edit this before I get home, but I'll definitely. The last week it took so long to upload because I had a glitch, and then I uploaded it and YouTube kept canceling it basically, and then I forgot to upload it. So in the future it shouldn't take that long, but we should have it usually in a couple days. So well, thanks
Safe
for coming,
flight
everyone.
home.
We'll see you next
Yeah.
time.
Thank you, Emily.
Have a good night.
Hi,
Good luck
guys.
when you get there. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome.